Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got two beauties here with me for a quick comparison review. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see what do we have here, because we have two beauties, absolutely stunning knives from Custom Knife Factory. They are very similar but also very different. So let's check them out and see how they do compare between each other. So, first of all, this is the Custom Knife Factory Justice 2.0, designed by Tashi Barusha. So this is they are both collaborations. And this is the Snafu 2.0, designed by Peter Rassenti. So they are both integral knives, titanium handle, beautifully milled handles. They are both big boys. So let's check them out. For example, this guy over here, they also are actually limited edition, because this is done in 200 pieces, and this, I believe, it's 400 or maybe 300, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe this is 400 pieces overall. The price is going to be a little bit higher for the Justice, because there's more work, I am assuming, zirconium over here, and this is going to be $750. At least that was the retail price, and the retail price for the Snafu 2.0 was $650. The overall size of these guys, I was saying these are not small boys. Overall size for the Snafu, it's around 8.75 inches, and for the Justice is 9.25, with the Snafu having, I would say, overall cutting edge of 3.75 inches, and the Tashi has around 4 inches of cutting edge. They are both using M390 steel. They have some differences, for example, in the handle. Beside the fact that these are both integral pieces of titanium, would you look at this? This is a solid chunk of titanium milled out to achieve this absolutely stunning and sturdy and reliable and strong handle. And same thing for this one. If you check the thickness, the billet they started with is pretty much the same. I would say, yeah, it's the same. So one solid chunk of titanium to achieve this level of incredible machinery. They both are ridiculously good knives, and solid and big. But the Justice has probably an extra level of finish for the blade, because you can see all this crazy milling going on that is just ridiculous. On both sides, of course, the clip is matching the pattern on the handle, and it's just gorgeous. This Snafu is a little bit simpler, has these 4 fullers, these 4 grooves only on the show side. Lock side is just plain, and nothing wrong about that, but it's just less machining time. So that's probably one of the reasons why this guy is a little bit more. Also, the Tashi Barusha has, the Justice has a zirconium inlaid bolster, let's say. It's not really a bolster, it's just like a bolster area inlay, and it's fantastic. It's beautifully done. It's crazy. The finish is a matte, really nice, absolutely flush with the handle. No flaws, no issues whatsoever in this guy right over here. Love that. Also, another difference that you can immediately notice from the outside is the lack of lanyard hole for the Snafu, whereas the Tashi Barusha has this cut out right over here, which underlines the thickness of this billet. Look at this, you can see through. It's just gorgeously designed, but no lanyard for the Rassenti. Also, something you can notice right away is the absence of a pivot collar for the Justice, whereas the Snafu has a very cool mokutai pivot collar right over here, and they also provide a spare pivot collar, but it's just plain titanium, not another mokutai. Whereas the Justice, there's no pivot collar right over here. Also, you see that the level of chamfering is higher, let's say, on the Tashi Barusha. Look at all these surfaces, these curved areas. This is like is a radiused area. Look at that. It's beautifully done. Here, nice chamfering going on over here. Look at this area. It's beautifully done. Whereas on the Snafu, you basically don't have any radiused chamfering. It's just except for this one actually, but it's just like following the curve. It's not actually radius. There's a radius here, but not like internal, let's say. Also, if you check on the back, you see that there's a little bit of bigger opening for the Snafu. And you have, of course, some jimping going on, which is nice, aggressive, absolutely functional for the Snafu, and no jimping going on for the Justice. Also, you notice on the blade, you've got absolutely fantastic jimping for the Snafu 2.0, and just a plain and just sleek spine of the blade for the Tashi Barusha. Also, from here, you notice that the size of the handle is a little bit bigger for the Justice. If you open the blade, you're gonna notice some other differences, of course, because the blades are different. And for example, you see that they are both sporting M390 steel, but you see over here, but you see that the finish is very, very different. They are sporting both a multi-tone finish blade. Like, for example, you see the Justice here as a satin, I don't know if it's hand-rubbed satin, but it's a satin finish for the main bevel, primary bevel. And then you have this matte, kind of like bead-blasted finish for this area over here, which is not a swedge, but it's just like just a cut, secondary cut, I don't know how to call this, but right before the harpoon area. It's nicely done, and it's matte, so really, really cool. And you also have another finish right over here on the spine that is just absolutely gorgeous. Whereas the Snafu has a vapor blast primary bevel, and also has this a very, very similar kind of like matte finish inside of the fuller, and just the satin flats, which is absolutely fantastic. Beautiful spine over here. They are both sporting a swedge, but in the case of the Snafu, the swedge just starts right over here at the end of the blade and just reaches the tip. Whereas on the Justice, the swedge starts like right here at the beginning of this harpoon part, and then just reaches the tip right over here. Of course, you have curved edge, like a nice belly right over here, and a recurve right up to the heel of the blade, whereas here you just have, like, I would say 30% belly, and then a straight edge up to the sharpening and finger choil. Of course, you notice that this is a functional finger choil and of course sharpening choil, which is lacking here in the Tashi Barusha designed Justice 2.0, and it just ends like here, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to sharpen the Justice compared to the Snafu. Also, you see another difference, of course. Snafu is sporting a zirconium thumb stud, which is also acting as a stop pin. Whereas in the Justice, the stop pin is just internal. You don't see it. It's maybe you see it right over here, right there. So you can only notice that if you disassemble the knife, and actually you can check my disassemble video for the Justice, and you're gonna notice that the stop pin is internal, and it's right underneath this zirconium chunk. So quite some difference in the design, and also you can actually use the thumb stud as a thumb stud, and not only so it serves as a double function part, stop pin and thumb stud. Also, you're gonna notice a little difference in the flipper tab. They are both subtle, not protruding, not sticking out that much, but the design is very different, because in the case of the Snafu, I'm able to do a nice push button or a light switch. In the case of the Tashi Barusha, the push button is a little bit harder to do. you can do it, but it's the angle at which it's designed. It's not that easy for me, at least, and it's beautifully the contouring here, the how the flipper tab follows this line is just gorgeous. So for me, it's just gonna be easier to do just a light switch, but that's just me. Also, the weight is going to be different because this Justice is heavier at 6.6 ounces and the Snafu is 5.4 ounces. So just like a little bit over an ounce more of weight for this guy right over here. Also, what you can notice is that the clip, for example, on this side, has on the Justice has only one screw and has some nice matching pattern going on, matching the scale side, and the Snafu just has a very, more simpler and two screws to fasten it. Pocket clip, both are titanium, 3D milled, absolutely functional, nice. I would say I would give the edge to the Justice because it has a little bit nicer spring tension associated to the pocket clip. Also, another difference, of course, you have seen the harpoon over here. They're both flat grind. There's a nice internal chamfering going on for both. There's no internal skeletonization because it would be like a nightmare, I think, to try to mill the inside of that. They are both sporting like a dovetail, stainless steel lock face insert screwed in from the outside, bigger cutout for the lock for the Justice. And you see an overall absolutely fantastic machining going on for both of these blades. Like it's the level, guys. It's outstanding. It's incredible. They are both crazy good knives. I would say these are my two favorite custom knife factories, together with this guy right over here. But this is not an integral, so it doesn't really make sense to compare these two. But these are big boys, integrals, titanium frame lock, like incredibly made, expensive knives. They are absolutely reliable, fantastic collaboration for a custom knife factory, and I am pretty much in love with both of them. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.